All right, everybody out there, this is the last day of the year. It is December 31st, 2019, and we have some big changes up in the YouTube world. So this video is going to be a little bit about, is your favorite YouTube fishing channel okay? I say it is. I say your favorite fishing YouTube channel is going to be okay, unless. And now here's your big unless. From what I've read and what I've seen with this Coppa and all these laws, are very important. They protect children. There's a lot of children out there that are watching a lot of content they maybe shouldn't be watching. So there's a lot of things that are going on where it's a little bit more of a mature audience, and 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, up to 13-year-old are very impressionable youngins. So what the United States government has tried to do is they've tried to set up something where they are going to protect children from being advertised to 13 and below. And it's very tough for them to do these things, and I don't know what the right answers are of how, where, when, or why they're supposed to do to protect kids, but I do know there is a law that's been in place since 1997, I believe, and the Coppa law states that you're not supposed to advertise, as in collect information about children 13 and under. Well, the way YouTube works is they've set it up where they get a lot of information from the kids that are 13 and under. And then what they do with that information is they take that, and just like anybody else, they're a business. What they want to do is they want to earn, they want to earn some income from all these people that are watching their platform. So they will take it to these different potential advertisers and say, hey, we've got this many children that watch this show, this channel, YouTube Kids. But their big problem isn't YouTube Kids, their big problem is YouTube. So what YouTube has, I believe they had a fine, it was somewhere in the $170 million range, and they've had to make big changes, and they start tomorrow, as in January 1st, tomorrow, 2020. And a lot of people are scared, a lot of people are upset. I don't think our fishing community's really looked at it very much. From what I've read, from watched these other channels, everybody from, probably one of the chief information places I get is from Philip DeFranco. And I guess one of the things that they're looking at is they want to make sure that YouTube channels don't have kid-friendly type content, and they look like they are for kids and then have a lot of adult stuff in them. And it seems to me like the United States government feels like that's going on a whole bunch in the YouTube world. So what the government's going to do is they're going to check thumbnails, and it seems like if your thumbnail looks like something that might have bright colors and toys and things like that, then it's going to be rated kid-friendly, or it's going to be rated for kids. Now, I'm not here to tell every channel how you're supposed to do your videos and how you're supposed to do stuff, but I do believe what Coppa is going to do is if you have cuss words in your videos, if you have content that's towards kids, even if you mark your videos not for kids, if it has kids content in it, where it's like a toy Nerf gun catches big fish, then you're going to have to name that video a kid-friendly video. And I have had to go through some of my videos, and I've had to rate some of them as made for kids. And I'm okay with that. If that's what they want, if that's how they want it to be done, no problem whatsoever. But the big issue here is not that it's made for kids. It's not that we state that it's made for kids. What YouTube has told us, if you schedule your video or you label your video as made for kids, you're not allowed to have comments on the video. The video will not push out notifications to your subscribers. You will not receive the same type of revenue that you did before if your video is rated for kids. So now what happens is in some instances I've heard creators losing up to 90% of the revenue. And hey, if you're out there and you're earning 100% and then 90% gets cut off, that's going to hurt. It's going to feel real bad. Nobody's going to enjoy that. And on top of everything else, it really seems like the government's serious this time. And if you do label your videos as not made for kids, and your thumbnails show up as for kids, your content of your video looks really kid friendly and like kids are really going to watch it, they have an option to fine each creator up to, I believe it's $42,500 per infraction. So if you put out a video and that video is kids, and you say, oh, this isn't for kids, I was trying to go for adults, then YouTube won't be fining you. It's the federal government. The federal government decided we are not going to prosecute YouTube for all the sins of the creators. So us as creators, whether we're fishing channels or any other channel, if we are kid-centric content, then we have to label it that. The bad part is, as being a creator and a channel owner, if you do label your videos kid-friendly, then YouTube's going to slash your income. So it's a tough situation. I know there's a lot of people, there's a lot of fishing channels out there that do great, and you know, they have a lot of stuff that's really awesome and a big fan base. And I'm not going to tell any of those channels what they should do with themselves, other than be careful. And today is the D-Day. So if you haven't addressed your channel, you haven't looked at your channel, you haven't decided, hey, what should I do here? Should I label this as creator content, or should I label this as adult only? If you haven't checked in, you haven't done that yet, from what I've heard, some of the rumors is that the YouTube machine, the AI, will go in and they will label your videos what they deem it should be. So now if you've got a computer labeling what your videos should be, it's usually not going to be the same thing that you want it to be. So if you're a creator out there and you haven't addressed your YouTube channel and your videos, and I know I'm sitting somewhere around 400, I had to go through each one of them. I had to look, and by the way, the Coppa and Coppa laws, they look through everything from what's in your description. If your description's kid-friendly, they look through your tags. If your tag's kid-friendly, I have heard of Daryl Eves posted one of his people in one of his videos, or actually one of his creators that he works with. They got dinged for having fun, you know, funny, things like that, and that made it so their video was deemed kid-friendly content, and supposedly they lost somewhere around 90% of their income on that particular video. Right now, it's a crapshoot. Me personally, I'm going to err on the side of caution. So if I've got a video, like some of my videos are pretty fun. You know, one of them is Sideshow Bob Goes Fishing. Well, you know what? That video, hey, I'm wearing a Sideshow Bob wig. We're catching peacock bass. Do I think it's a pretty cool video? Do I think adults watch it too? Yes. But you know what? It's probably more geared towards kids. So if you have videos out there that you know that when you put it out, all the kids are going to love it, you better think twice before you let that video go out as being not kid-friendly. Because if it is kid-friendly and the government comes in and says, okay, you knew that video was for kids, and now they're going to start throwing lawsuits at you. So no matter what you've been making per month on your videos, if the government starts slapping $42,500 lawsuits on top of you, it's going to be very, very, very heartbreaking. So for all the fans out there that are watching all these YouTube fishing shows, you know, watch your channels, enjoy them, love them. And then all the creators out there that have fishing shows and they're doing great and have really grown and are really large, just be sure you guys check out, and girls out there, be sure you check out your videos. Make sure that if you believe it's kid-friendly, if you think it's questionable, you might want to label it kid-friendly, because it's, you know, it's more important to label the video properly and you take care of that than have YouTube hit you up. Because if YouTube hits you up, or if the government hits you up, you know, they can mess with you in big ways, and essentially you can end up losing your channel for not doing the right thing. And we don't want anybody to lose their channels, and I don't think any of the viewers out there want anyone to lose their channels, because they like them. That's the reason why they're watching them. They're having a great time with them. They're enjoying the fishing videos. They're enjoying all the stuff that's going on. And if you're enjoying that stuff, you know, maybe shoot your favorite creator a message and say, hey, are you doing the right things? I hope you're going to still be here, you know, after the first. I hope the government doesn't get you. Make sure you take care of your channel, because I love watching it. You know, don't be afraid to tell your favorite creator, hey, love you. Make sure you do the right thing so you're still here, so I can watch you all next year. And, you know, nobody wants to be stuck with a big fine. And as a creator, if you get stuck with one $42,500 fine, it'll probably put you out, much less bunches and bunches of fines. And if you've got 400, 500, 600 videos, that's a lot of videos that you need to go through and make sure they're not kid-friendly, and make sure they're not labeled kid-friendly. Make sure the title's not kid-friendly. Make sure the the tags aren't kid friendly. Make sure the description's not kid friendly, because if any of those things are happening, the government can look at you and they can say, okay, that's a kid friendly video. They did not label it as a kid friendly video. You get a lawsuit in the mail, and you don't want to see that. So I'm sitting here, I'm telling the fans out there, the viewers out there, all the creators out there for the fishing YouTube world, because hey, that's where I've been there since 2006. So I've got a lot of time invested into YouTube and the YouTube world. If you have a video that you believe could be kid friendly, you might want to go ahead and label it kid friendly, because if you don't label it kid friendly, you're either going to allow YouTube to label it kid friendly for you, and I think they're going to punish you if they have to do it. And on top of that, you definitely don't want the government to have to label it kid friendly, because from what I've read and from what I've heard from other creators and other channels that have studied this over and over, they say that those fines are a big deal, and I don't want to see anybody get stuck with any $42,500 fines. So if you have content out there that you think's kid friendly, label it kid friendly and say, hey, YouTube, do right by me, you know, make it so we can still thrive on this channel. If you have something that you know isn't kid friendly, hey, say this is not for kids, this is for adults. And if it's gray, you don't know what the federal government's going to do. So if it's a gray video, meaning it could be kid friendly, it could be mixed audience friendly, you're not sure whether it's for adults, for kids, both, last time I checked, you better label it on the kid friendly side, because if you don't, they're going to get you. And we don't want to be got. Hey, it's hard enough being out here and earning a living on YouTube. And if we're earning a living on YouTube, we definitely don't want to get fined and the federal government come in saying, we gave you an opportunity to do the right thing and you chose to do the wrong thing when you had the right opportunity to do the right thing. It's kind of like fishing. You got to make your decisions, and when you make the right decisions, usually good things come out. When you make the wrong decisions, you usually have to suffer the consequences. So to finish off this video, I'm Captain Ben Chancey with Chew on This. This is the last day of the year, December 31st, 2019. Tomorrow is January 1st, 2020, and it's the first day that YouTube is supposed to be implementing Coppa, and there's supposed to be giant changes starting tomorrow with YouTube. So if you haven't changed and you haven't made a difference with your channel, if you haven't looked through it and changed the things to make sure that you don't have any videos that are posing as kid friendly or posing as adult videos but they're really kid friendly, you might want to take a look at it. You might want to take your time to make sure that it's not, because we don't want to have to do any big fines or any crazy thing like that. Anyways, thank you guys for tuning in, watching all the shows this year on Chew on This. We really appreciate it. We had a great time. We always appreciate everyone that comes in and watches it. Comments, subscribers, everybody. We love you. Thank you very much. Godspeed, and we'll see you guys in 2020. Oh, and girls too. A lot of girls are starting to watch Chew on This. We really like it, and thank you all the ladies out there. It means a lot to me. We really appreciate it. Godspeed. We'll see everyone in 2020. Thank you very much.